With sports betting now legal in nearly 40 states and sports betting apps growing in popularity, more Americans than ever are placing more bets than ever. But with all the heart-pumping excitement comes growing concern over the risk for gambling addiction. From casinos,
this is Powerball,
to lotteries, to horse racing, Americans have long chased the odds of winning on a wager. What's the feeling you get when you win?
Winner, chicken dinner.
winner, chicken dinner. But going after that winner's high,
BetMGM is for everyone that loves sports betting.
Has gone into overdrive since a Supreme Court decision in 2018 made it possible for states to legalize sports betting.
What we're seeing since 2018 is the largest and fastest expansion of gambling in our nation's history.
National Council on Problem Gambling Executive Director Keith White says that Supreme Court decision opened the gambling floodgates. 38 states and Washington, D.C. have legalized sports betting in the last 6 years, making way for sports betting sites called sportsbooks nationwide.
I'm having a good time.
So you think it's fun?
Yes, ma'am. I'm having the time of my life.
Washington, D.C. resident Raphael Haskell comes to the Caesars Sportsbook next to Capital One Arena every day. Are you losing or winning?
Well, I'm half and half.
The biggest driver of the most recent gambling surge are sports betting apps.
Feel some extra bumps in my chest while the game is going on?
Commercials with big stars amp up the adrenaline.
Bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets.
With enticing deals to attract new bettors, especially young men, the fastest growing demographic of gamblers like Chris Niebuhr. How old are you?
25.
Wait, okay, so you're right in the demographic.
I'm exactly who they're marketing to.
With their popularity, sports betting apps are also contributing to an estimated 30% increase in the risk for problem gambling over the past several years. Many who use them say they do feel addictive at times. What's your concern here?
I think it's easy to get sucked in. I mean, it's like you lose a little bit and you want an opportunity to win that money back, and it's hard, you know.
Do you ever feel like it really just has a hold of you and that it's like addictive?
Sometimes. Well, sometimes if I lose too much, I need to stop.
The technology is having a massive negative impact.
White says having these apps on your smartphone in the palm of your hand plays right into known risk factors in gambling, speed, and frequency of play. Are these sports betting apps a game changer in gambling?
I think they are a game changer. It is a cocktail for people to get into problems and get into deep problems almost overnight.
With the help of lightning-fast analysis through artificial intelligence, the sports betting apps offer seemingly endless propositions. And you're not just betting on the outcome of a game anymore. They have what are called micro bets on any little action in the game. Will they make that free throw? How about that first down? And it's just so easy to keep betting with just a tap on your phone.
It's good to put limits on yourself, limits on how much you have to spend, limits on your time on the app.
Bet responsible and don't bet what you can't afford to lose.
While most people can control their gambling, the National Council on Problem Gambling estimates 3 to 4% of the population has a gambling addiction, about 9 million Americans. And White says it often ends up hurting not just the individual, but also families, communities, and businesses.
Because many people with gambling problems report committing to theft or white-collar crime to finance their gambling.
Is that common?
Yes, roughly 70% of people with severe problems report that they've committed a white-collar crime to finance their gambling.
Americans wagered a record $120 billion on sports betting in 2023, but just $105 million, less than 0.1%, went to treatment or prevention. White also worries that problem gamblers have a 20% higher risk of suicide. He calls it a public health crisis and says with all the money being made comes a responsibility to minimize harm.
We need to work with every single segment of society to have a public health response just like we did with alcohol and with opioids. Gambling needs to be in that same conversation.
The National Helpline for Problem Gamblers is seeing an all-time high in the number of people contacting them. So far this year, every 90 seconds, someone calls, texts, or chats 1-800-GAMBLER for help. That is a dramatic increase since just last year. For Spotlight on America, I'm Angie Moreski.